Stop schlepping to the drugstore and paying $20 for shave tech you don't need. For a couple bucks a month, DollarShaveClub.com delivers amazing quality razors right to your door. Shave time, shave money with Dollar Shave Club. Go to DollarShaveClub.com/rooster. That's DollarShaveClub.com/rooster.
The patch.
The patch. With
And start.
Apparently,
I shouldn't
always
swirl it.
with you.
Gus, don't
It's like-
spoil it
it's
because
off.
last week we were off by like
it
5
working?
minutes.
Yeah, it is
It's working, but it's
That's
all right.
fine.
That's fine. Okay.
Gus, Adam, Ryan, Gus,
And beer.
Gus, and beer. So here we are, patch. We're going to talk about video games again.
Are we?
Yep. Every
Okay.
week, every Wednesday, the gaming supplement to RT Podcast. I feel like there was a good amount of news this week, but not as crazy as it's been the past couple
I don't know.
of
Like
weeks.
Nintendo has dropped a bunch of stuff today.
Well, yeah, they did their Nintendo Correct, but I'm not 12, so it really doesn't matter to
Yeah,
me.
I've heard literally nothing.
No, they
About-
They
they
had
dropped
a new Smash
bunch of
Brothers
trailers.
character.
Oh,
New
okay.
Smash Brothers trailer, Dr. Luigi. The one that really tripped me out was in Sonic Lost World, they've added a DLC for Yoshi's Island, which is like my childhood having some kind of fight because it's
Yeah.
like Sega and Nintendo
Happy together.
hugging and kissing, and it's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, they've had other crossover games before, like they had the Mario and Sonic Olympic game.
I know, but this is Sonic in Yoshi World.
Hey, look at these Shy Guys. He's fucking up some Shy Guys.
Look,
yeah,
he's
that
got
is
Yoshi's
weird.
following him.
Yeah, that's
That is
strange.
wrong.
I don't like that. Like that makes me
I'm
uncomfortable,
old
and I
enough
don't know
that
why.
That is two people that should not be touching.
Or they should be fighting. Like the only
Yeah.
touching they should be doing is with fists.
That's right.
Yeah.
Gloved fists and giant dinosaur beaks.
But yeah, so Nintendo dropped a bunch today. But other than that, it's been, SteamOS has come out. That's kind of a big
CMOS
one.
did come outside. Have you tried to install it yet or anything?
I have tried to install it. It successfully installed. I played around with it for about 10 minutes and then went, well, I'm going back to Windows.
So essentially, it's not intended to be like a desktop replacement OS.
No.
It's like a home theater gaming OS.
Yes. Yeah.
So you wouldn't have like all. You're not going to run Office
To
on it.
be honest, it's an attempt to make a console without proprietary hardware and proprietary software. Like from what I can tell,
DIY console.
the something like that. Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
Home
where
build.
you can home build your own stuff. You get certain parts that are in the like acceptable parts list, and
Which
you
is
put 'em
pretty
together.
tight because I've
Yeah.
tried to install it on the machines and it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
I guess the machine I've got is pretty close, but not quite what it's happy with.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, it's a beta release. It shouldn't be widely workable right now. So, whatever.
And I mean, if what I've read is correct, there's actually like on top of it being a beta release, the installer is like a recovery image.
Yep, it is.
So it like when you install it, it just like wipes your computer. It's not like you can dual boot or
Right.
something like that. It's just like I'm gonna take over everything.
Well, I mean, would you really want to dual boot a home theater PC like a Steam OS box? It doesn't seem like it would be
Well,
something
for
you
right
really
now,
wanted.
yeah.
Well, for now, yeah.
Yeah, I have a very particular setup. I have a home theater PC, and for me, I'm not ready to completely jump on board with SteamOS yet. But it is something I would want to try. So I would like to dual boot, my Ubuntu partition and SteamOS to kind of play around with both and kind of flirt. And if I like it, then I'll
So
make the change.
SteamOS is a Debian-based operating system, if I recall properly.
That's correct.
Which is a little weird because hasn't the Steam client run natively on Ubuntu branches for a while? So I mean, why would they go with like a Debian instead of like an Ubuntu?
Well, so Ubuntu is in the Debian family,
Right. But they're
technically,
like cousins.
that.
They like see each
It's
other
like,
every
it's
now
like
and
great
then.
grandson, I think.
Okay.
is the better analogy.
Twice disowned.
Although I mean, with the way Linux forking works, it's all
So,
just now
inbred cousins.
it's pretty close. Yeah, they can trade information and DNA back and forth.
Gross. So it's legal. It's just frowned upon.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I think that's maybe a little too nerdy and a little too
All right, fine.
too
That's
core
probably-
for people interested in gaming. So I saw like an unboxing video where this guy, I guess, made the first like actual unboxing video for a Steam box, and he opened it up and. It's funny to me. It's like I was watching it and I was really excited to see this, but you can never really see it up close And I was like, why is he opening it on the floor? Like, did he not have a table he could put it? Like, I don't know. There were like little things that bothered
It's
me.
the only thing he
And
worked the camera.
So
every
about
time that his wife or whoever, it was a woman's voice. Every time the woman moved the camera, you could hear the squeaking of the tripod. Like it was locked, and
They
she was
couldn't
like,
even edit that out.
right. And then, well, the video starts with, "Okay, it's recording." So it's like obviously just like a one take
Yeah.
like little digital camera thing.
Nice.
So your complaints were the video, not the actual packaging.
Production quality, man.
Yeah.
Put it on a fucking table.
I thought the box that it came in was really interesting. I mean,
Does
it's
it
one of
mean
those
anything? There's like those
No,
runes on the
I
top.
don't. As far as I know, no.
It's just being weird. Why not?
It-
You're releasing a Steambox prototype. Decorate it however you like. Actually, no. It actually confirms Half-Life 3 right there on the crate.
Did it?
You got to look close.
It's like
Of course it
it's
did.
right there in front of your face. Did you not see it?
Yeah.
we even sent you the hardware. Come on.
So I'm curious to see. I haven't seen any other. I'm sure there are other unboxing videos, but I'm curious to see the actual hardware a little closer. Like I
I've
felt like
seen
that
one
was
where
a
they
little
actually
further.
took it apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks. I mean, it's a pretty much standard
Computer.
parts. You've got the main thing that is kind of micronized is you've got a very small form factor motherboard.
Didn't it have like a special riser in it that allowed the video card to go sideways?
I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
because
seeing that and was like, "That's
the
real
motherboard's
cool."
here, and then the video card kind of sits up like. I don't
Yeah,
know if they're-
it's one of those risers like we used to see in. I mean, we used to see. Most of our audience probably is clueless, but back in, I mean, there used to be risers that you could then mount stuff horizontally, and I think it did the same thing. It actually moved the PCI bay
Okay.
over to the side. The default specs that they were releasing, weren't they like 780s in
There
the
was a
dev
780,
kits?
a 760, a 660, and then I think there
Is
was
it
a run.
supported, or is that the one that the Steam
Those
shipped?
are the currently supported is the 660, the 760, 780, and the Titan.
Okay. Oh wow, I didn't know the Titan was even supported.
And those
That's
are
crazy.
those are the 4 options they shipped. They also shipped an i3, an i5, and an i7.
So would they ship like an i3 with the Titan?
That's
Or
a
do
good
they only put the
question.
i3 with like the older?
I wonder,
cards?
do you get the whole high end, or you just get like the kind of shitty one? Like,
You got an i7 with a 2-year-old video card. Yay!
I haven't followed Linux drivers in a while, but I find it a little ironic that, and again, this is probably above most people's understanding, that the Linux Steambox actually has or NVIDIA driver support
They
for the
probably
longest time.
coded custom driver sets for the Steam OS.
Yeah, I mean, just it's one of those things that I mean, NVIDIA and the Linux community have kind of for years been
Been
at
at
each other's
odds.
through. Yeah,
every time I
Like-
mention that, people say, no, it's way better now. It's way better now. It's,
Yeah.
it's getting better, but it's not fixed.
Yeah.
It's the same issue with bringing anything to Linux right now. It's just not where everybody is.
Well,
I mean,
I
I
think-
understand why you want to do it, but
I think once we see more widespread adoption, adoption
adoption.
of
wow, that was not even close.
of Steam
Remember that
boxes
when you adapted
and
that
Steam
child?
OS, you'll start to see better support from
Yeah.
drivers and better support from games. It's again, they're not doing it because no one uses it. No one uses it because they don't do it. So
It's hard to spend a lot of money on a 1% market share.
yeah.
it'll get better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna start reading some of my stuff here. So I might be the only person at this table excited about it, but I guess Lionhead announced they're doing a Fable Anniversary Edition
Yeah, that's
for
right.
the
I'm totally excited
Xbox
about that.
360. It's coming out February 4th. So I never played the first Fable game.
Nope, I'm
Really?
not excited about that. I got the games wrong.
Yeah, so I played.
that
Fable-
was,
Which one do
that
you think it was?
Sorry, that was the company that did Black and White, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lionhead.
Sorry, for some reason the second I heard Lionhead, my brain went back to Black and White and thought you were doing
Yeah.
an anniversary.
No, no,
edition.
no.
Yeah, nope.
So
Fable's
I played,
great.
I played
but
Fable
nope,
2 and
I'm
Fable
good.
3 and the Connect one whose name I can't remember.
No one really wants to remember it.
It was a fine game. It wasn't awful.
So with the anniversary edition, are they
It
like
wasn't
refreshing
awful.
it for the one?
No, it's for 360,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
just like they're making it 1080.
Are they going to shoehorn in some kind of Connect support? I hope not.
I don't know. There wasn't any Connect stuff in Fable 3, was there? I don't think there was.
Oh no, I think there may have been. Or
If there
See,
was,
I get
don't
so
think I
confused
used it.
because they were so quick on the uptake of, oh, we're gonna have all this Fable shit like in the next one. It's gonna be great. You're gonna be able to pet things and like whisper sweet nothings, and none of that really got delivered. And then they went back and made the Fable
Typical
Connect
Lionhead
game,
fashion.
and yeah, it was all over the
The
place.
one, though, the Fable game I'm really excited for is the one they announced at E3, where it's like you don't play as a hero necessarily. You play as the 4 people. It's like a Borderlands Fable game.
Uh-huh.
That's the one I'm looking forward to. I haven't heard anything about that since the E3 announcement.
Do you know if are they doing the whatever you want to call it? So with the last game, they had an arcade game that came out
Oh yeah,
prior.
yeah. The pub games.
Yeah, the pub games. That was the funnest part of that entire game to me.
Yeah.
Do you know if they're doing the pub games kind of style thing again?
They haven't announced it. It would be weird trying to work that into a remake of the original Fable game.
That's true. I don't know how many pub games there were in the original either.
Right.
I feel like it was a little bit smaller.
Right. So I don't think they'll shoehorn it in. I'm sure they'll try to find a way to make it work, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't exist. But yeah, so February 4th, I'm finally going to play the first Fable game. I don't know why I didn't play that in the original Xbox.
It wasn't bad. It was a pretty decent game. I mean, some say it got worse as the series continued.
I liked Fable 2 a lot, and then Fable 3 I was pretty disappointed by.
I think 2 is probably where they hit the squarest shot of that game, and then they kind of lost it again a little bit.
Fable 3 had a great cinematic trailer, though.
It feels like Mass Effect.
Yeah, hey, what do you know? I like Mass Effect 3.
I did too. There was I felt that, well, that's another conversation.
So we're not talking about Star Citizen hitting another milestone as far as Kickstarter goes, but they've announced that they're delaying the dogfighting portion.
They finally backed off of something.
Of the game.
Really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, so it said it's gonna be delayed by several months in order to get the game's server back end up to where they want it to be. So it just goes to show, no matter how much money you throw at something, you can still see a delay.
Well, you know what? I like this. I like that they're taking the time to get it right before they just throw it out there in the world.
Well, it goes back to what we talked about previously last week, where it's like early access means shitty experience.
Yeah.
I mean, this seems like this is a step in order to prevent that from being the case, getting burned out on something that's
and
awful.
the server infrastructure is extremely important. I mean, that's the thing that controls security, your anti-hacking measures, all of that kind of stuff is dependent on your server backend being solid. I mean, your client's going to get destroyed in minutes. So,
a good chance it's still going to.
Of course, but if they're going to delay for any reason, I mean, that's the one that you should delay on definitely.
Yeah, that's the one that
you need that rock solid
options to like fuck you.
Yeah,
I mean, we look at how many games launch, like full retail, not only early access, but like look at games that launch that don't have a proper server backend, like GTA 5, and it's like a month and a half, and it's like you're fucked,
You keep bringing this game up. You
fucking like GTA 5. It's just like it was such a negative experience.
For me.
For everyone
not
but me.
for you.
I had fun.
It was such a negative experience. It was so bad. I got to play every day, and I never had any problems.
It was a negative experience in a different way for me. The negative experience was I didn't get to fully enjoy the game that was promised because they had to fix it for people like you. So it was
you were all alone.
I could play,
you went online,
but I didn't have
online by yourself.
This massive multiplayer is great. I'm all alone. Got a whole world to myself. So that's why it was a negative experience.
Yeah, I get it. That game was that online experience was really frustrating for me. I don't have, at least as of right now, and I haven't went back to it yet, but I don't have a single good memory.
Yeah,
of the online
actually
experience.
Really fun. The stuff we've done at Achievement
I
Hunter
know
has been
it's
really
fun. I just haven't dived back into it. I've kind of moved on in a sense.
Yeah, to be fair, the fun part is to not play their games though. Though they have added some stuff in that's been getting that's interesting.
So all the stuff that's in the game is not the fun part.
The golf is fun.
The golf is fun.
Of course, the golf is fun.
But I mean, if you just go away from the game types, don't go do jobs, just go play. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do just playing around.
The top fun game type was still my favorite.
Top fun is really fun.
Yeah.
It's adequately named.
Yes, absolutely. Top fun.
How is it for people that struggle with open world stuff?
Well,
every time in the normal game, in single player, every time I have one of those moments where it's like go do stuff, where the story is purposely open-ended, I just go immediately to the story again. And
no, the
don't
jobs are
ever
very directed.
Yeah, like you run around, do whatever you want. Then when you get a job, there's a marker on your map.
It's like a multiplayer. I mean, it's a multiplayer game type. It's not open world anymore.
Okay.
It's very specific objective.
So there is still it's an objective-based multiplayer experience.
You're open world when you're running around, but once you start a job, then it's objective-based. And it's you go here, do this, go there, do that. Take the drugs, kill the person.
So when you mean just go do other stuff, you mean go do other jobs and things?
No,
not
don't do jobs. Some of the most fun we've had in the game have just been running around in free roam and just doing whatever. I mean, playing with the physics, just
I guess.
No, it's fun. Yeah.
Fist fighting on top of buildings.
I think
I'll have to experience it because that is always the most boring stuff for me. I need that objective stuff. I need those those rails.
You gotta give yourself an objective. Use your imagination.
One of the best moments I had was I was playing a multiplayer game with Miles, and we were driving around in my car together, and then some guys came up next to us, started shooting, we got in a shootout with them, and then we killed them, Then we like went off to the golf. We were gonna go golf, of course, because I always like to golf. So we parked at the golf course, and we were waiting for someone else to join us so we could all play golf together. And we're just standing around waiting, talking. And then I looked down the street, and I could see a car like driving really fast up towards us. And I was like, "Oh God, they found us! Run!" And it was the guys we had killed. It like followed us and came out and like jumped out of the car. It was like something out of a movie. You're like,
Yeah,
running
I
and
guess you're
hiding.
right.
It's like the Libyans from Back to the Future.
Yeah, because that experience is actually something that happens in DayZ. We're probably going to talk about that here in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you're right, because I don't have any problems in that. Now, when I'm running around the world, I always have like my internal objectives,
Right.
where I'm like,
Yeah.
I need a backpack, and I'm searching for that. But the environment it creates its own objectives. So
So
to
since you
speak.
bring it up, let's talk about DayZ.
Yeah.
DayZ, I did not have that queued up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Give me a second.
Did I jump topics? Oh no, he's not ready.
It sold 80,000, I want to say, or is it 80 or 88,000?
88,000 is what it was.
I believe is way higher than that now. The last number I saw was 140,000 copies.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe it's something
wow.
to the tune of like $4.5 to $5 million.
The number I saw was
in
for
a
the first
day.
12 hours. The first 12 hours was 88,000.
My number was the first 24.
Okay.
Okay.
So then 140,000 people. That's a lot of money for a game that's not out yet.
Hey, he
Yep.
knew the market was there. He waited until the time was right for him, I guess.
Yeah. They made $5.1 million.
So
in the first 24
Nice.
hours.
one of the biggest controversies I've seen over it is they released their alpha, or their first alpha test at $30, and for the whole time they've been talking about the Minecraft model, and I believe Minecraft started at like 5 or 10, right?
I think it
It was
was
pretty cheap.
It was
10 or
really cheap.
15.
I think 10 or 15,
Is $30 too much for an alpha?
Well, do you get the finished game at the end?
Yes.
Yes.
You still own a
Okay.
copy of the game, but a lot of people were like, "Oh, this isn't the Minecraft model at all. This is crap. This is too expensive. I'm not going to pay $30 for an alpha." I'm of a like.
Well, if it's a full-fledged retail game, you're looking at 50 to 60 bucks.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think 30 is an acceptable
If
amount
you're
of money.
that's half off.
Right.
If you're thinking I'm buying an alpha, then yeah, it's too much. But if you're thinking I'm buying a finished game,
Yeah.
when the game's finished,
And
Yeah, you can-
I
you-
get
it's-
alpha
then
access
then it's a
now.
discount. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want, you could just pay it now and then don't even fucking install it. Wait
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
it to go like gold and retail. Like, okay,
See-
great, now I'm gonna install it.
In fact, I'm pretty sure that's what they're selling, right? They're not selling the alpha.
early
they're
access.
selling early
Well,
access.
Yeah, they're selling early access.
Yeah.
You're buying the game ahead of time.
Yeah.
And they, now some of the stuff Rocket has said has been a little weird, because he says like, "Don't buy it yet," which
It's
like,
the total
that
reverse
worked.
psychology.
Yeah.
Don't buy it.
well, he's been like, "Don't buy it, don't play it until it's released," and I'm like, well, I mean, I get that you're going to raise the price later.
I'm
so
just
that's-
putting this out for money. Seriously, don't play it. Like, I just want people to give me money.
It's been one of the weird things. Like, and for me, I'm a diehard DayZ fan, so I bought it immediately, and
Well,
Ye-
it's exactly what I expected, based on the reframing of that they've been doing lately. It's an alpha. I spawned. It was night. I died. DayZ.
so it was really interesting.
True to the experience.
The first day, I got in probably about an hour after they brought up the sales, and I ran into a lot of issues. And I think they were all specific to the fact that I run multiple monitors, and it's like anytime my mouse exited the boundary of the full screen game, the game would immediately crash.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay.
So it was really like, so my first, playthrough, I played probably 4 or 5 hours the first day, was just like pretty much unplayable. Because it was one of those things that like I'd open the inventory, and when you open the inventory, your mouse gets unbound.
Yeah.
So you can move it off the screen, but if you move it off screen, you immediately crash. So it's like this game of, where's my mouse? Okay, there it is. Be
What
really
if
careful.
That's actually a
Did
meta
you-
game.
Did you test? Did you test and play it windowed and see if you left that boundary if it would crash?
I couldn't figure out how to put it on window mode.
Okay.
The
Okay.
UI right now is pretty rough.
Yeah.
So couldn't figure that out.
No, it's still using the Arma engine, right? Or
Arma
is it
3.
Arma 3 engine.
Unless I'm mistaken, which is completely possible. I believe it's actually either a hybrid or somewhere in between the Arma 2 and the Arma 3 engine.
Okay.
It's not a pure
okay.
Arma 3. It's a heavily modified Arma 2 engine with pieces from 3 and an entirely new network stack.
Okay.
All right.
Like they made their kind of own hybrid engine between two things.
So they probably got started on it before the Arma 3 engine was complete, implemented some features from this custom engine into the Arma 3 engine.
Probably something like that. That like they started working on it, and then they're like backporting things from the Arma 3 engine.
Yeah.
So eventually, it might be like Arma 3 because they've gotten all the pieces from it or something. But it is not a true representation of the Arma 3 engine.
Okay.
It was pretty. I saw it over your shoulder for a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the parts of it I could see, which was the little circle where your flashlight was, which for a while was just pointing over there at the floor
Yeah,
for some reason.
I had that problem
Yeah.
because I hit shift and I didn't realize it. That points your flashlight down.
No, spacebar.
Oh, is it space?
It's
Okay.
spacebar. My first probably 4 hours were spent holding my flashlight like this and me going, how can I make the flashlight go forward?
What I would do is I would be holding the flashlight down like this, and I'd like tilt, and I'd kind of be looking at the corner of the screen.
My
okay.
first was like walking like this, trying to like see the world. Yeah.
It's actually a game for people with scoliosis.
And then I hit spacebar and was like, crap.
Yeah, I
that
think
was
what I
it.
did was I went through the keyboard and hit every key, and I was like, okay, there, I did it.
It's up. Don't touch anything.
See, for me, like it was one of those things that I had accidentally hit it a couple times, and then it like changes. And I'm like, what did I hit? And
It's
then I'm
back.
like, I'm hitting all the buttons that I thought I hit, and of course I didn't notice I hit spacebar. So I was like, and I spent another hour being like, how the hell do I make my stupid thing go
It
forward?
was like Doom 3 all over again. Why can't I use the flashlight?
That's funny. Yeah. So I think when you spawn with a flashlight, a 9-volt battery, and I think that's it.
a shirt and some pants. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you
So
have
not
clothes.
naked.
You're not
Okay,
naked.
good.
Well, and that's actually really important because your shirt, if you get hit by a zombie, you can actually take your shirt and rip it into rags and actually like seal your wounds with your shirt. So you lose the protection of your shirt, but you don't
lose
bleed
the
to death.
protection of your shirt.
There's environments.
Oh, it's chilly.
yeah. Nickels, yo.
Temperature plays into
Yeah,
DayZ.
big
Okay.
time.
Also, they changed the inventory system up where shirts can have pockets.
Yeah.
And there's also a difference between wearing like normal pants and cargo pants because cargo pants have additional pockets.
Yep.
Which makes me wonder, did they factor in like losing stuff in your cargo pants pockets? Like, I know I have that here somewhere. Which pocket's it in?
Fumbling around.
That would be really annoying if you trip and it like jumbles your
Shit
inventory.
falls out.
Oh,
Or, like,
my
you have
that
to,
would be
Or
funny.
you have
That
to
would
click on
be
the
that would be
specific
awesome.
pocket. Like, which pocket is it in? Like, they could go through all of them.
Oh my god.
Here,
It's a neat mechanic, but I would want to kill myself.
I'm going to read this thing here. I want to remind everyone that this episode of The Patch is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Stop schlepping to the drugstore and paying $20 for shave tech you don't need. For a couple bucks a month, dollarshaveclub.com delivers amazing quality razors right to your door. Shave time, shave money, hey, with Dollar Shave Club. We love them. You will too. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/rooster. That's dollarshaveclub.com/rooster. I shaved half of my beard last week for The Patch. Didn't do it again this week.
You should have done the opposite one this
Well, it's
week.
so light. Like
Yeah, I
my,
guess.
my beard did not grow back as fast as I was hoping, so I didn't get a chance to use it again.
Well,
But
it's
anyway,
not a full moon, so.
yes, I didn't wolf out. But they have 3 different levels of blades you can choose from, and you get a free handle. And so yeah, you just sign up. You can upgrade, downgrade anytime you want. And they also have a great shave butter, which is like used in place of shaving cream, and cancel it anytime. And it's easier than fucking going to the store. Just buy it, order it, and shave. Don't be disgusting. Girls like it when you're not disgusting. Okay, so yeah, we wrapped up our DayZ stuff. So one of the other things I want to talk about this week was something we talked about a lot about recently, which was the VGX.
Oh, yeah.
So I
That
guess
spectacle.
they released some statistics about the show, saying they drew 1.1 million viewers, which is good. That's a lot of viewers.
That's surprising.
But the thing is, it was a 180-minute show, 3 hours. Average viewing time was 32 minutes.
You know, a lot of people will gather around to watch a train wreck if they knew it was coming.
So it's like people only watched on average a sixth of the show. I think I made it through close to an hour and a half, so I made it like almost triple,
They sounded really happy about it, though. I mean,
which is scary.
isn't it?
They
Yeah.
were really happy. They said that they were okay with people being negative about it because
Yeah.
at least people were talking about it.
but they're talking
was
about
like-
it.
They said for us, death would be apathy.
You know what?
I was like,
They'll never forget us.
why did I talk about it? I felt like we should have shut up then.
It's like it's
And we're
the
talking about it again.
producers. It's like they figured out how to make money off it sucking.
And there was
Unfortunately, it did not turn out to not suck like the producers.
I'm looking for a quote here. They talked about Joel McHale, and I forget what the exact quote is. Oh, there it is. Despite their reaction, Patterson was one of the producers, said they would love to have Joel McHale host a future show if there is one.
And they
said
talked
that-
him up a lot. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that-
you just didn't get his humor.
People
he's a
did-
real gamer.
People latched on to hating him because they wanted an outlet to hate. But they said that he's an avid gamer and that he did great. It's like, no, he had no idea what he was doing up there.
I mean, there might be something to this model. Like, I imagine people will tune in next year to see what horrible thing they've done to gaming. I can see it happening.
If Joel McHale's on there, I'm not gonna fucking watch. It was unbelievable to me, the fact that they were so positive about it. I guess they have to put spin on it, but it was like it was such a.
They got
such
numbers
a
on their side. People watched it.
1.1 million.
That's the only way to make them stop making it like that is to stop watching it.
Yeah.
Watch it on YouTube. You'll get all the good parts.
I did my service. I did.
There you go.
We're gonna. So I guess I meant to bring this up last week as well, and I forgot. We're gonna do patch awards for video games.
Hey,
but
sweet.
we're gonna push it to January.
Okay.
In order to finish the year out. So we're doing podcast awards like normal. Those will be out before the end of the year. But gaming patch awards we're gonna be revisiting and discussing in January. Probably early to mid-January if I had to put a date on it. So look for that in a couple of weeks. We're still thinking about it.
Got what? 13 more days to get the game of the year out there. Go for it.
I promise our average viewing time will be more than 32 minutes, and we'll do a much better. We're not going to have Joel McHale on. That should be our tagline.
No Joel McHale.
Patch awards now not featuring Joel McHale.
So you're going to create a whole bunch of like physical awards and then not send them out again?
We'll put them on the shelf
sure,
over here.
We'll keep them. That just makes our shelf look even more impressive. But yeah,
Can
even
it just be a Band-Aid for the patch?
that's a good idea.
Can it
Just
be
a,
used
just a little
Band-Aid?
box of Band-Aids.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's grossed me out. Other news: Just Cause 2 multiplayer.
Yeah.
Mod. Is that officially
It's finally
out now?
No, it is out. You can get it on Steam. I actually have it installed and a dedicated server set up here.
So-
Not that anybody else could use. Sorry, guys. It's for us.
I watched the launch trailer that they made for it, and at first it seemed really cool, but then it just seemed like too much chaos.
If you get on a big server, because the default server size is 5,000 users.
Yeah, that looked
What?
nuts.
Yeah.
That's an MMO.
Yeah, and I've
Like-
jumped in on a couple that and I haven't seen any that are maxed out at this point, but I've jumped in a couple servers with a couple hundred, and there are several areas of the map where it kind of tends to congregate people, like the airport, and it's just crazy. I mean, there's just people everywhere shooting at each other.
They
jumping
showed
in
an
planes.
oil platform in the trailer, and it was just like you could not step outside. There was so much fire from aircraft on it.
Yep.
It was like if you set foot outside anywhere, you were going to be like riddled with bullets. Look at that.
Yep.
I mean, there's like.
What?
It doesn't look like that would be fun to me. Like, I imagine this would be fun with like maybe up to 20 people. But then some of this stuff was just like it was like being at a crowded shopping mall, like trying to fight for Black Friday deals, you know?
It's my Elmo.
It's one of those things that I mean, that looked interesting if I had a team of like 30 people.
Yeah.
Whereas like my chance of survival is significantly higher because I'm not going to get immediately blown up.
I think they've got some level of that with the factions, but it's not implemented yet. The really cool thing about it is basically the server is just a basic server, and then you install whatever script modules you like to add game types to the world. So there's a derby, there's a race. That's just basic stuff the derby comes with it. Race is another exterior module. So in the server tags, you'll see what is installed on that server, so you can tell what you can play when you get in there. So the racing's a little rough. It's going to get better, I'm sure. The openness of the environment, because pretty much anybody can now just pick up scripting for it and make whatever modules they want and install it on their server. So I think there's going to be some really cool stuff that comes out of that.
As someone who's primarily a console gamer, that is one of the things I'm most jealous about when it comes to PC gaming, is the openness of and supporting of a mod community. I mean, this is a game that came out almost 4 years ago now, and a fan mod community banded together and made this.
Do you think because of the Xbox One every Xbox One has the capability of being a dev kit, that we might and thanks to digital distribution we might actually see some expansion that on the console?
I don't think so, because I don't think so. I feel like it's a different mindset when you have games on the console versus games on the PC, and people or developers latch on to that closed nature. Like they are the ones in charge of delivering that experience.
Yeah.
You have I feel like on the consoles, you just don't have the access to the core assets of the game to really manipulate it too much. So I mean, without ripping them out.
Someone made a funny comment here on Twitter about VGX and Joel McHale. They said, the VGX sounds like an angsty teenage girl regarding Joel McHale, keeping around the jackass your parents don't like just because. So thanks, MI Gamer Girl, for your insight with VGX and Joel McHale, fucking jackass.
You really don't like him.
It was awful, man. It was, like I said,
I need to go back and watch it, because like the amount of hate from you is
it's
ridiculous.
It's easy to watch like the low light reel, as they call it, like of just bad stuff. Don't do that. I mean, that doesn't paint a fair picture. If you're gonna watch it, watch the show to see it in context and fully understand what's going on. Like watching these little excerpts, you can make anything look bad, anything look good. You got to watch it in context to fully understand. Like
but that's like an hour and a half investment.
No, it's 3 hours.
Well, it's an hour and a half investment before I go nope and turn it off.
Well, the problem is everybody really wants to like Joel McHale too. Well,
I like
not
Joel
everybody.
McHale.
Yeah, I like
him
everything else he does.
Yeah.
But boy, did he! It's not necessarily the attitude. It's just that it came off really unprofessional.
Yeah.
And
It seemed like there was no preparation.
Yeah. I mean, it was all over the place. And he acted like he didn't care. He acted like the subject matter wasn't interesting. And if you're going to that something to celebrate games and the host
you should be passionate about it.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Y'all are stupid virgins. Lol. Great. Thanks, dude. Really appreciate it. So Microsoft announced the other day that the Xbox One and Xbox 360 are going to start their original TV show content in early 2014.
Really?
Which is,
like the Netflix originals? They're going to start making their own?
They said they're kind of like Netflix, but not quite. They haven't really elaborated. But they're making original first-party content. And they said specifically, we aren't Netflix, we aren't Amazon, we're a different animal.
What does that mean?
I don't know. No one knows.
That's the vaguest statement ever.
At E3, they announced
we're different guys.
They were going to be making that Halo series that was premium content
edgy.
with Steven Spielberg as an executive producer. But you haven't heard anything else about that.
So they're going to get Hollywood people to make fancy things. That's how they're different, right?
I feel like that's kind of I mean, this isn't the first time that someone has, at least it reminds me of one other time recently that, so Bungie has been kind of preaching up and down that Destiny is not an MMO.
Right.
Mm.
But I keep looking at all the little bits and pieces of it, and I'm like, that sounds a lot like an MMO.
They're really edgy on details for that game too.
Yeah. So it's it's just one of those, like, I really don't like it when we're like, or when someone is, it's like that thing that you like, except it's not that, and it's better.
It's so much
and they're
better.
Just, that's it. It's better. Oh,
just buy the
it's
game,
a different animal.
and you'll see
Thanks.
the better.
Well, we're going to find out soon. I mean, they said they're going to start launching this, first quarter, maybe second quarter.
Is it locked? Have they talked about how one can acquire it? Is it just open for subscribers?
I assume it'll be available through the Xbox Video.
Yeah,
app.
so it's like I pay $1 for an episode or something like
or
that.
Maybe it's exclusive to Gold. Or something like that.
Yeah,
Who knows?
so they haven't talked about it.
No,
That was my question.
Yeah, and it may change on a case-by-case basis, based on the content. So, no, I mean, you literally know everything now.
Awesome.
I have told you everything that they have publicly said.
Literally, it's that other stuff, but it's different.
Stuff's coming. It'll
Animal.
be good.
Yeah.
Not the same. Buzzword.
Great.
Buzzword.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited.
Marketing, guys.
I use my Xbox like a home theater PC. Like almost every
Absolutely.
piece of video I watch comes through that. I mean, even my cable box is plugged into it now, into my Xbox One. So, I mean, if it's just another way to get easy access to video content, great.
It's that I probably use my Xbox 360 more as a theater machine than I do
For games.
a game
Actual
console
gaming.
now.
I don't know if I mentioned this previously on the patch, but now on the Xbox One, when you look at the details for like the Hulu app, it shows you how many videos your friends have watched and it ranges them like a leaderboard.
There are achievements now.
Yeah, and then for Netflix, it tells you how many movies your friends have rated. So it's weird.
What are the achievements for watching?
Man, I got
You
yelled
watch
at this
9,000
I don't think
Netflix movies.
I don't
You
think
have
it's come
no
out
life.
yet.
You can
That's
see them.
exactly what I'm saying. It's the death of achievements. There's 0 points achievements.
I think there's achievements for
That's
watching
not an
like whole
achievement.
series of a whole season of a show, a whole series.
If it's something you can turn off and then go away and not watch it at all,
You absolutely can.
Like
No, the Kinect watches. It's like, he left. No achievement for
Pause.
him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Why not? I mean, it can already sense that. Why don't they have an option, or do they have an option where if you walk away, the Kinect knows and pauses your show?
That would be kind
That'd
of
be awesome. Like if I don't want to
Though,
fumble with my
I
remote, like I
mean,
want to get a beer,
is
I'm too
it-
drunk to hit the remote. I'm just gonna stumble
But
away
what
from
if
my
you
couch.
wanted to walk to the kitchen and have it still playing?
I was gonna
What
say,
if-
Xbox keep playing. I don't know.
Is it able to detect, like, I mean, it's probably because of the complexity when there's 4 people watching.
It can
That's
detect
true.
multiple people.
I get that, but what does it do if one
if
person
one
walks
person
away? If one person is making, like,
I assume if
there's
nobody's
too
there,
many,
pause.
There's too many if statements.
If there's
Yeah,
people,
I get that.
keep playing.
Yeah, if there's no one, all right.
But
I
how
understand
frustrated
that.
would you be if it maybe stopped detecting you for a second, or your dog walked by and it was like, "Oh, no one's there."
Or if you leave and then your dog gets up on the couch and it's like, oh, you're back. Here you go. The other day, I guess it was like the launch week when Dead Rising 3 came out. I had paused it. I still don't know what happened.
It does that.
I paused it. I went to the kitchen, then it unpaused.
Dead Rising just does that. I don't know why.
Okay.
Everybody that I've talked to has had that problem.
It's a feature.
Yeah, I was making a drink, then I was running back into the living room screaming like an idiot. So of course I'm like surrounded by zombies. Like no.
Before we get too far away,
so it just unpauses itself?
Yeah, it just unpauses.
That's awesome.
I don't know why. If you go to the dash, then you're safe. But if you're just in the start menu, you hit whatever. It'll come out of that.
That's some developer just being like, they're not playing our game. We're going to troll them and make them run back and play our game.
Before we get too far away from it, so the whole thing about Netflix achievements. So there are achievements in Netflix. There's also achievements in the Xbox fitness thing. Like there's a whole free fitness thing you can do on Xbox One.
Okay.
Could two achievements be any further apart in ideology? Like, this is an achievement for sitting here watching something versus you just worked out.
Here's the best way to do it. Is you're working out the Xbox Fitness, you snap Netflix or Hulu in the other screen, and you make achievements at the same time.
That is
for
brilliant.
Watching shows and working out at the same time. You're welcome, Internet. Double achievements.
The other thing is I actually ran one of those just to check it out, and there's like 12 warnings at the beginning of the fitness thing. Like, listen, if you start feeling short of breath or, your heart gets going, just sit down. Call a doctor. You're going to be okay. It's like, I realize
what exercise is, right?
I mean, I realize that the person that this is, going to be using this is probably not necessarily in peak physical condition, but they're probably not going to drop dead any second if they do the smallest modicum
it's
of exercise.
It's that liability. There's going to be that one person
just be like,
who's
told
like,
you not to work out.
Yeah, who starts working out, burns 1 calorie, has a heart attack,
it needed
and
that
then is
one.
like.
That was the keystone calorie.
Yeah, it's and then sues Microsoft.
It was like the calorie that was keeping them up, keeping them all together.
He needed that one for that next heartbeat.
So there was another story here I saw that I thought was kind of funny. So apparently, a Tea Party group adopted BioShock Infinite propaganda posters and started posting them on their Facebook page.
That's amazing.
In order to support.
Like edited or
no?
It's like a picture. There it is. It's a picture of George Washington that says, "For God and country, it is our holy duty to guard against the foreign hordes."
And there's
that
all the
awesome.
little, racial stereotypes.
This might be the first thing I agree with the Tea Party. That's fantastic propaganda. We should totally use that.
And so the page is not available anymore.
Oh well, of course
they took it down. But I just think it's funny to see, what's created to be like this weird stereotypical propaganda, like reappropriated by a group and being like, oh yeah, we totally agree with this. Let's use this as our message.
Which in the game, it's presented as a kind of a farce of that situation.
Yeah, it's a satire.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really funny to me. So it just goes to show video games are art.
Nice.
Because
propaganda it's hard to argue
art.
that was art. It's very pretty work. Prettily.
You're doing good. Keep going.
Words.
Adapted.
Yes. It was adapted.
It was.
Came full circle.
Let's see. Okay, so we already talked about that. Raptor released their most played games of 2013 list, which I hate Raptor notifications. I'm fucking sick of seeing them. But I'm glad they collect this data because I'm really curious to know.
Yeah.
You only want to see it one time at the end of the year.
Right.
Just show it to me then and then never again.
I don't want to know who's playing what at any given time. I don't. Well, I do sometimes, but I don't want it fucking thrown in my face constantly. I want to check my friends list and see. Then I don't
know
want to
this
see it again.
is a strange question. Has Raptor plugged into Steam yet? Because that was the one annoying thing I didn't like about Raptor.
They do PC and Xbox 360.
But on the PC you have to run their proprietary client, and I already have I've already got Origin. I've already got Steam. I've already got so many of these clients that hook into my games. I just want less of them. I wonder if I can just hook it into my profile and let it just gather that information for me without.
All that info is there, right? I mean, Steam knows how long you played stuff.
Exactly,
it tells
and it's
you.
depressing. But
I've been playing a lot of PC games lately, and yeah, it's depressing how quickly that stuff adds up. Anytime you go to launch a game, it's like, 12 hours, huh? I could have sworn I wanted to play this game too.
Yeah, that's
you
from my early MMO days. That's cute. There have been a couple times when it starts measuring it in weeks, you have a problem.
So here we have most played new game in the first 30 day launch window. This is for I guess it's for everything. The most played game was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Wow,
The
by a huge margin.
Yeah, I mean, it blew it away.
Then we have drilled down to Xbox 360, Black Ops 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, which just goes to show Grand Theft Auto 5 must be way huge on the PS3.
Well,
it also got a much later
that slide
release.
was actually really interesting because it actually showed that that Black Ops had more time played than GTA 5, and GTA 5 was played by so many more people.
That may have been November as well.
Oh,
I didn't
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
Well, and Black Ops is from that came out real early in the year, right? Or was that even last year?
I thought that was Black Ops 2.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been out a long time versus GTA, which I mean, if it had
I guess
the
that's
same
true.
amount of
Yeah,
time,
okay,
it might
okay.
have.
And
Wow.
we have most played PC game in
Anyone surprised
2013.
with League of
League of Legends,
League
Dota
of Legends,
2,
Dota, yeah.
Rift, Warcraft.
I'm actually surprised.
and then-
Rift was Rift above Warcraft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
just
no
happened to my
bathroom break.
voice.
This is my favorite one. The longest average session time in the launch month goes to Assassin's Creed 4 with just over 3 hours.
That's actually, I mean, that's a cool statistic.
Yeah, I mean that's really interesting to me. Is like
Yeah.
the fact that you can drill down and measure
How long
Yeah.
could you
that.
keep your butt in the chair?
Right.
Yeah.
I wish it could measure how long you played without pausing.
Hmm.
Like then you'd really like have an idea of no break or the length of actual engagement in game time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a fair number of things in Assassin's Creed though that and I haven't done 4 yet, but if it's like some of the other ones, sometimes you're just waiting on your little guys to complete their missions, though, right? So it may be a lot of people
Or
just
that
sitting
guy
around
in a
waiting
path
for that.
near you finally for that
Uh-huh.
stupid mission or something. Yeah.
So that was to go back to our previous discussion. That was the most played 360 game in total 2013 playtime was Black Ops 2. I guess
Okay,
because it
okay.
had a full
For some
year
reason,
of playtime.
I don't know why. Every time I see Black Ops 2, and it's probably just that Call of Duty gets, released again every single year. They're all kind of starting to blur together for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking it was the new one.
Ghosts,
Yeah, and I was like, that's crazy.
Call of Duty dogs.
For some reason when I saw that, I was like, Ghosts had that much more playtime over GTA when GTA crushed it on.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
that'd be astounding too, because
the-
Ghost came out
yeah.
late in the year too.
yeah, that's what I was surprised by. And if it was Black Ops 2, that's.
But
I mean,
next year,
it's fascinating, but it's not
Then
as impressive.
Rounding out that list, number 3 was Minecraft, number 4 was FIFA, and then number 5 was Halo 4.
Can you go down to the bottom one? I'm actually curious. I saw was it Rift above
Oh, there
World
it
of
is.
Warcraft?
Yeah, Rift was number 3. WoW was
for
number
what?
4. Most played PC game total 2013 playtime.
So playtime.
That doesn't. I mean, that's clearly not possible.
Well,
right?
it's also people who are running the Raptor client.
Yeah.
So it's not
so
necessarily.
it's within their target demographic.
yeah,
Or
it's not
within their-
necessarily everybody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Rift is still a popular MMO, but WoW is still very insanely huge.
I mean, it's going to continue
Either that
to
or it's
tail
just a
off.
huge. Yeah, I mean, yeah, all games do right now, especially a game that's been out for coming up on 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's they're still. I mean, their subscription base is in the millions still. I don't
I think.
think Rift. Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're still making like $1 billion a month.
Must be nice.
Like that's
and they really don't
insane.
earn that. I mean,
No.
it's easy to draw the math, but you figure subscriptions in China are significantly less, and they have like a whole different
Yeah.
subscription base. A different company runs it, but it's still millions of
It's
dollars.
still a huge
every month.
amount of money.
Yeah. Enjoying my beer.
Good.
Before
good.
I segue.
Nice sip. Sip.
So I should have tied this into our DayZ discussion earlier.
Uh-huh.
But Walking Dead Season 2, Chapter 1, finally, or Episode 1, finally came out this week. It was available on Tuesday for PS3 and PC, and today on Wednesday for Xbox 360. I downloaded it here at the office, and then I realized my Season 1 save game's at home, so I didn't play it because I didn't know if it imported my choices or
it
not.
doesn't have cloud save?
Oh.
I didn't cloud save.
Why didn't you? You're
In
so
Steam?
weird.
How did you not?
No, on the 360.
Well, there's your mistake.
Well, I just want to sit back. Once I get a Steam box and I can plug it into my TV, then yeah, no problem.
Fair enough.
I just realized actually that The Wolf Among Us is also available on the 360. I played it on
Oh.
the PC. I should have played it on
Well, okay.
the 360.
So turns out, new episode. Everything's better now. She's really happy. She's got a new family. She's playing with dollies. It's all turned around for her. Really.
As someone who has not seen this, I can't tell if he's just.
No,
being
he's totally joking. It's a Walking Dead
I
game.
haven't
There are
played
no
it yet,
dolls.
Dude, shit got dark.
I haven't played it yet. I actually. It's one of those shows that everyone tells me is great, and I haven't picked
Robert
it up. watch the show
Kirkman
yet
wrote
either.
it. That means that no one is happy ever. If you're happy, that means shit's about to happen to you.
Yeah. Your
So
happiness
it's-
will be devoured.
Yes.
By a zombie. So I'm super excited. Gonna play the shit out of this game. Really, really excited. Looking forward to playing it. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I didn't play Season 1 until after the final episode was already out. So I felt really lucky because I was able to just sit down and power through them. I'll be like, that was awesome. And now I'm just going to do this thing where it's just like The Wolf Among Us, where you play, you're like, oh, fuck, now I got to wait. But I'm hoping now that Telltale's going to enter a state in which they're working on 4 of these kinds of games. I'm hoping that you just basically wait a week and then another chapter for another game comes out. It's like
So
The
you're
Wolf
playing
Among
like
Us,
4
The
games
Walking Dead,
simultaneously?
Game of Thrones, and Borderlands.
It's just like comic books. You got to wait another month, and then you get another release. It's
I haven't played it yet. Is it good enough that I should start playing it, or and just wait for every episode as it comes out, or should I just wait for it to finish and then play it all back to back?
I would play it immediately.
Go
Yeah.
do season 1 at least.
Yeah, it's so good. You don't want to have missed
Like
out.
I have it, I just haven't played it yet. But I'm not really missing out. I'm just playing it later, right? Or is it good? Like you have to have it now?
I would
'Cause
absolutely
it's
recommend. If season 1's already done, just do it. Then wait a couple months and do season 2 when it's done. If you
It's like a TV show. If you wait for a little while, you'll start to run the risk of running into spoilers because people will probably.
So
be talking
it has
about
it's tied enough to narrative that stuff is important.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Okay.
Season 1 certainly was.
Yeah.
So
Not happy with this.
that's a Joel.
Joel just invaded the set.
Yep.
Hi, Joel.
How you doing, Joel?
Hi.
Yep.
Hi. Do you need him? It's okay.
I-
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I gave you my
Joel!
time last week. Leave
Joel
me alone.
And then speaking of digital releases, Minecraft finally released on the PS3 this week as well.
Yep.
Really?
So they, and 4J said this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to make sure that the PS3 version released before they then begin pushing the PS4 and Xbox One versions.
So Minecraft and like the Xbox 360 and the PC version don't really have feature. I mean, at least as far as I'm aware, don't have feature parity.
Not even remotely. No.
They're
way behind.
How close is the PS3 version to the Xbox to the
I believe
PC?
the PS3 version is on par with the 360
Yeah,
version.
so those features are going to be released like at the same time, kind of thing, and
Well, right, I think it launched
PC
in
Master
parity,
release will
and
be
I
the last
assume
of them.
that it's going to continue development along the same timeline.
Yeah, I would be curious to see what the back end of that is like. If how different the architecture is between the two systems, so that how much extra legwork are they going to want to do for these old gen consoles? I mean, they're still out there so much that it's going to be supported
There's
for a while.
such a huge installed base on those consoles. I mean, it's what we talked about. I mean, there's 80 million 360s out there. 10 million copies of Minecraft have been sold on the 360. I can't imagine they would sell less than 10 million copies on the PS3 as well.
I mean, can you imagine though how much more work that's going to become for the company to drag all 4 versions of this game?
10 million
5
copies
versions.
at
5
$15 a
versions
pop,
for it.
$150 million. All
right.
Yeah, not a problem.
yeah.
Well, you already bought it though. Like they don't. What's their incentive then to continue upgrading?
I'll take
at
back
that point?
$20, $200 million texture packs.
Texture pack. Well, that's so far is 360.
Yeah, they said that they're going to have it out on the PS3 very
Okay.
soon. That's like one thing that the PS3 is missing, but it is going to come out.
Like
Okay.
texture packs and makes the game look better.
No, you can like have costumes, like in their
Oh,
Let's Plays, how
okay,
they have
okay,
like the
okay,
different
yeah,
outfits,
yeah, okay.
like that kind of stuff.
You can change how the world looks and how your character.
Yeah,
skins.
it's like a costume kind of thing.
Sort of. Well, you can also completely modify. It just changes the textures of the entire world. So there's been a Mass Effect one that changed them to a lot more like space textures. Skyrim that made it look more kind of Skyrim-y.
I know there's
That's
a
a-
DayZ
that's an
one because
adjective.
people wouldn't leave me alone about it.
Not that on the 360, I don't think.
Oh, I don't
but-
know if it's a
Or maybe
360.
maybe. A
I
skin
just
pack.
know I got about 1 million tweets about playing DayZ Minecraft, and
That may be a PC.
Not that interested.
People will create their own game types in the PC version
Yeah.
all the time. That may be what they've talked about.
Yeah, there was that. God, I can't remember who made it. There was that Team Fortress 2 mod for it, where it's like they had all the different classes and remade Team Fortress 2
but did
maps.
they have all the hats?
They did not. I don't think they had
That's
all the
not Team
hats.
Fortress 2.
Yeah,
Don't try to sell
not
that stuff. What
acceptable.
are you talking about?
It was a crazy mod. Tons of. I can't imagine how much work went
It
into
didn't
it.
have the most important part of Team Fortress 2.
It had the guns. I would argue that's the most important part.
No hats.
Hats.
It's
you
all
did
hats.
not play Team Fortress 2 then.
I'm sure there's someone furiously working on hats right now.
Though in the vein of Team Fortress 2, have you guys seen the trailer for the Plants vs Zombies thing? The 3D
Garden Warfare?
Garden Warfare. There we go. I lost it for a second. No.
Yes.
I
Yes,
saw it at
okay.
E3, I think. I remember there being a Plants vs. Zombie thing at E3 that was, I think, free to play and very cash shoppy.
No, that's Plant vs Zombies 2 is what you're thinking
Yeah.
of.
Okay.
This is Garden
There's
Warfare.
another one?
This,
Okay.
this
This
is the
is
one where they
3D.
had that trailer that was styled very much like a Battlefield trailer.
I
Like
haven't
the
seen
following
this one.
trailer is all from real in-game footage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. There's the trailer had kind of a couple minutes of actual gameplay, and it's got the same kind of class system, but it's plants and zombies. it's very. I think that Kotaku was comparing it to Battlefield, so it's kind of that idea of you capture points and tried and true kind of game type, but it's all Plants vs Zombies styled.
Well, it makes sense if they're, since the trailer was even modeled after, that kind of Battlefield style of look to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling up the trailer here so we can pipe it out and we can show it hopefully.
There we go. Nope.
Black
Trying to pull it up.
But
anything.
the art of it looks very similar to me, kind of to that Team Fortress 2 style, the almost cell shaded, but not quite.
This is like some podcast magic shit right here.
Yeah.
You are playing a video from your iPad to a TV
Buffer,
in front of us to another switcher to the what is
Anyway,
Buffer.
it's not a perfect system you can see.
Yeah.
But the trailer's beautiful. It doesn't make
it's really pretty.
It doesn't feel like a normal Plants vs Zombies game to me, which is very like locked off, tower defense style.
No, it's definitely it's a completely separate game type for that company.
So,
it's nothing even really resembling the other game styles.
So it's a timed exclusive on the 360, the Xbox One, and PC, and it's got a launch date. I didn't know that, of February 18th.
Nice.
So we'll be seeing that here.
It looks
soon.
pretty complete from the trailer.
How is the have they talked about the business model? I was really turned off by the Plants vs Zombies 2 kind
All
of
the
thing.
microtransactions.
Yeah, I loved Plants vs Zombies 1 so much, and I feel like a lot of the cash shop stuff. I like free to play, but I don't like it to a certain degree. And I felt that it was just too much in Plants vs Zombies.
I think Garden Warfare is not.
Is it
free
just
to
like a
play?
Yeah, it's
standalone
just a
game? You just
standalone,
buy
yeah.
it and you can play the game.
It's a retail experience.
Okay.
They're actually going to sell it, yeah. Well, I mean, in 2, it felt like there was a little bit more grinding if you didn't pay money, but I played a fair bit of it and didn't really ever feel like I was pressured unduly to buy anything. It was not bad. I actually enjoyed it for a while.
Yeah, I guess it was. I mean, it was probably just misinformation from when I saw the trailer, but it was like
there was a lot.
I had to buy every class, and if I
Yeah.
wanted to start the game, I couldn't play the pea shooter until I bought it, and that was $1, and then I spent another $15 to get the better one, and I like that mindset for me was just like, nope, that franchise is dead to me.
Though, if you want to talk about bad, I don't think Plants vs Zombies 2 really suffered from that. But if you want to talk about detrimental microtransactions, have you guys seen the big blow up over Forza right now?
Yes.
It's that one's blown up in their face hard.
Wait,
Forza's
Forza? I
doing-
thought it was Gran Turismo 6. Was there a Forza?
Was it? Maybe I'm talking the wrong racing game.
Was it about the super expensive car?
Well, no, it's just people were complaining that essentially you no longer unlock cars at levels. It's all based on paying out with certain in-game currencies versus microtransaction money. But the currency you get in-game is just a fraction. I mean, it was pathetically small. It was so bad that they have since now offered a special deal and are giving cars away. It's just made it impossible for you to get vehicles in a timely manner without paying money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see here. Your
Is Forza?
What you're talking about? Yeah, I had not heard this Forza 5 one, but yeah.
Sorry, I didn't pre-notify.
I feel like in a racing, I don't know. I feel like in a racing game that doesn't that model doesn't fit.
Well, I mean, people keep trying to shoehorn these ways of getting
The
more money out of the
microtransaction,
game,
yeah.
and they haven't found a model that is not really unattractive yet.
Yeah.
In this case, I mean, playing a racing game, part of what you want to do is get cars,
Absolutely.
and if
That's
it make
like
it, yeah,
90% of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see there's different token levels you can purchase here. You can spend anywhere from like $1 up to $100 depending on how many
Are
tokens
you
want.
kidding me?
Yeah.
and the rate at which you got it for just doing races was not sufficient to ever
Yeah,
get
you'd
some of
race
the more
for like a
expensive
month
cars.
to get the next car.
Yeah.
Or something ridiculous. Yeah, that sucks, man.
It was basically the game was just a vehicle for the microtransaction.
And it's still a full retail
that-
price.
yeah.
Yeah, and you still paid for a full
Wow.
retail price. You got the tracks, but you got like a car, and that was
But
it.
you can still unlock them. It's just the scale was not set correctly.
Right. And the other thing that they really didn't like, or a lot of pushback on, was it used to be in previous versions of the game, you could go into like a free play mode and try out all the cars and drive around like that. That's gone too. So you could no longer even try the cars. You couldn't get them. You had to pay for them or earn them, and it was hard to earn them. So
what happened if you paid for a car and you let's say you went crazy and spent $100 on a digital car in a game you already spent $60 for, and then you took it on the course and was like, this car doesn't handle enough for me. I need a car with more acceleration and less horsepower.
too bad.
Oh my gosh.
I would be furious. I'd be so pissed.
Well, if you pay another $100, we can give you this upgrade package. And what they've done was
I
part
can
of
think
their...
of a lot of other games I could play for $250.
So I'm pulling up the Gran Turismo 6 microtransactions here.
I'm so
yeah,
tired of microtransactions.
Yeah.
I'm looking at an article here on IGN, and I guess they finally listed the prices for all the microtransactions, and it's kind of the same thing, where this must be their British interpretation, because it says if you want to drive the Jaguar XJ13, it's 120 pounds.
See, I feel like that's gating content. Like, that's not a convenience thing for the game.
But
it's not like...
Why is this a prevalent thing in racing games, though? Like,
Because people want the cars.
That, yeah, I like... See, I
think they may have...
I like microtransactions to be convenience.
Yeah.
You know, like, I really feel that Path of Exile did a really great system, or had a really great system, in that they give you a storage, they give you all this stuff, but you can pay, like, I think it was like $10, and then your tabs in your storage, you can, like, color code them, and you can rename them. So instead of, like, Bank 1, Bank 2, Bank 3, Bank 4, I was able to make, like, legendary items and not legendary items. Like, I was able to... It was that thing that I already had all the content. I had a fully featured bank, and if I wanted it to be a better version of the bank that had me to, you know, be OCD about how I'm organizing things, I could pay a little bit more and I could have that convenience. But it was a fully featured bank.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't hold me back in any way. And I feel like a microtransaction, especially in that sense, it's like, I can't get this car feasibly without paying money. I mean, it's going to take me 2 years of playing this game
Rubber band your
every
controller.
day. Because that works.
rubber band and a slight turn. It's
There you go.
Too bad it's not a NASCAR game.
It's one of those games. It's one of those things that, like, in MMOs, you see people who are not willing to pay have to resort to things like botting because it's so expensive or it's so impossible to get in a legit manner that, well, then they have to break the rules and you know, find stupid guy's script that bots all their stuff for them, and then they can just buy it themselves without having to actually invest the currency.
So I see here on Twitter that, I don't know if it's true, Grant Hiddleston is saying that in Forza 5 you can actually test drive the cars before you buy them.
Okay.
That's good.
Which is better. And I guess that
At
there's
least
going to
know
be
what you're going to
can
spend
test
an
drive
exorbitant
before you
amount of
buy it.
money for.
there's going to be a patch. I don't know. Again, I don't know. It's iDriven saying the most expensive cars are dropping in price and races are going to be
Worth more.
worth double the money.
Yeah.
In an upcoming update.
So it's good that they are responding to the feedback, but
But the important thing here is you have to give the feedback. If people hadn't said anything, then you know this would have continued. Like they're pushing to see how much they can get away with.
Yeah.
You know,
So
before
here's
people
a
get
question
angry.
for a game like this, for a game like Forza, where they've got a bunch of different cars that you can individually buy on top of buying the retail version of the game. At what price would you think you should have everything?
Well, do you think that maybe there should be a collector's edition or like the ultimate edition where you pay like $100 for the game and you get every car?
Yeah. Well, with Smite, it was that way. Like, you could buy an individual god. If you say, in Smite, I really love Ares. That's my favorite god in that game. I could have paid, like, I think it was like $4 for just Ares. Alternatively, and I don't know if they still do this, I know when I bought it, it was like $40, $45, and then I just got everything. And I never have to worry about
including all the
gods.
future gods.
Yeah, it was just like, I just bought the game, and then I get everything. I feel like with Forza, that similar model should fit, where I can buy the $80 version of the game and get everything, or I can just play it for like $1 and get the one car I want.
You can also argue. The counterpoint is Smite's a free-to-play game.
Yeah, it
Forza,
starts
you
off for
paid
nothing.
$60. You can pay $60 and get every fucking car.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, like, for $60, I should have everything.
That really goes back to this whole idea of...
And what's that number that should be that top ceiling? Is it $60?
Well, that's the thing.
That
If
should
it's
just stop being greedy?
This is what people really seem to hate, is if it's on the disc when I paid the money for it, then that should be mine.
Right.
Like, I shouldn't have to then give you more money just to further unlock what I already bought from you.
I get that, but I feel like that is going to disappear, and it has disappeared. Oops, sorry. It has disappeared a bit from the PC world simply because there's no more discs. Like, I literally do not remember the last time I went to the store and bought a game.
Same thing with Smite. Like the example you gave.
Yeah.
You
It's
download
a digital game.
The data is on your hard drive. You're unlocking the data that's on your drive that you downloaded.
Yeah, so it's like but at some point, I guess. I feel with Smite, like there's constant updates. Is it the content on ship day is what you buy, and then everything past that is like they can itemize individually. If they make the 2013 Camaro or 2014 Camaro and add it into Forza 5, can that be $1 or $5 or whatever?
Well, I guess
because
here's
it's
the thing.
after the fact.
Like, if you want to use Smite as an idea, because Smite, you didn't pay anything to get it originally. You had a certain amount of characters that you could play.
And they change all the time,
And
so
they
that's an
change.
inconvenience.
You don't get to pick one. You could unlock all the characters. So let's imagine it's Smite or like Street Fighter. You buy it, you see all the characters there. You paid for the game up front, but you can't play those characters. Like, you already gave them money for it.
Yeah, that would make me.
They're
That makes
there.
me really upset.
Yeah,
That would-
and that's what they're doing with the cars.
Yeah, that's shitty. Again, it goes back to that's data you paid for that you have, and
It's
you're
not like I
you're denied content.
get to play the game for free, and then I can choose to buy the cars I want.
The interesting example you gave is an unreleased car that wasn't out when the game came out.
Yeah.
It's like if they add it into the game. Yeah, I could see that.
Which is, if it's DLC, fine. You pay for additional DLC. That's additional
You
content.
pay $30 for the 2014 version.
We're just about at time. I think we have a few seconds left. There's 2 more topics I want to cover real fast before we go. So apparently Ubisoft said that Rainbow Six Patriots is being scrapped, going back to the drawing board.
Yep. Start over.
It's been in development for a couple of years. They said they really wanted to change it. They said things weren't quite working right. So they're
StarCraft ghosted it.
Yeah, they're starting
That
over
seems to
on it.
become a more and more common thing recently.
I did not mean
where
to click
either
on that.
people like just scrap the game and start over. I mean, that kind of happened with EverQuest Next. I want to say about a year and a half, 2 years ago, they were just like, "Yeah, this is bad. We're just going to start over."
So then,
and then it happened with Titan too. Sorry, we can continue.
Last thing. So NPD numbers came out, and everyone has a spin on it.
NPD,
the video game sales for the month of November.
Yeah.
PS4 is the top-selling console. Xbox One is the fastest-selling console.
What does that mean?
So
is there a guy
you
with
get
a
a prize.
Like,
You
they have
get
a
a
guy with a
prize.
stopwatch, and the truck drops off the Xbox, and they're like, "Go!"
PS4 was the top-selling console for November, and PlayStation was the number 1 in sales overall for home consoles.
I wonder if they clocking that from release.
feel
November, and then hold it real fast.
Yeah.
So then they revealed 909,132 Xbox One units were sold in the U.S. in the console's first 9 days, making it the fastest-selling console on the market in the U.S., averaging more than 101,000 consoles a day
Does that mean at the time?
in November.
So if they take that metric in, when did PS4 come out? Did it come out in
November
November?
15th.
Okay, so they're both in November. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So
You-
and
you
they
stack
were,
up
they were
against
out
the
a
same
week,
thing.
They were out a week earlier.
Yeah.
So that's why they sold more, is what this is saying. Xbox One is saying, yeah, we weren't out as long. We sold faster in our time, though. So take it for what you will. They both are really neck and neck, which in the end, good for video game players.
Yes.
It's good to have that competition and that healthy back and forth. In the end, gamers benefit from it.
Now,
Sure.
if only Nintendo would play this.
Nintendo tried
real
to
game.
boast in some stuff here.
I think that's why they
didn't-
just dropped all this stuff on this today, is because it's, hey, we're still here. Look at all this stuff.
All right. Well, anyway,
Important.
we're at time. The hourglass has run out. We went like 2 minutes over. So I want to thank everyone for watching. We're going to be back Monday with another episode of RT Podcast, and next Wednesday, Christmas Day, with another episode of The Patch. We're probably pre-recorded.
Probably.